Welcome to the Thursday edition of This News here at LonghornStation.com. Ahmad Brooks and John Medani from the Wake Up Call. And today we are talking about the new proposed NCAA legislation which would restrict men who have been designated as head coaches in waiting from recruiting the way they're accustomed to. Whether they're a position coach or a coordinator, they would be under the same restrictions as a head coach is, which means one in-home visit. And you also have to be dormant during that very volatile time between mid-April and the end of May. And this only impacts two programs in America as of right now, the Texas Longhorns and the Maryland Terrapins. And quite frankly, Maryland ain't really on the college football radar right now.
They're not relevant. And if you have to pinpoint where this is directed at, I think it comes down to the success Texas has had with this system. I also think that even though I think Bobby Bowden was pushed out a little sooner because of Jimbo Fisher, I do think that system did work. Now, I understand the complaint on the flip side. We had a caller call in and say that maybe this source was from Central Florida, saying that minority coaches weren't given the opportunity to be able to interview for jobs in this format. But look, here's the deal, man. Will Muschamp is good. The University of Texas program is established, and a guy that good is here because it's good. It works, and it sells itself. It's not when you say we're going to punish you and we're going to treat you like a coach when he's an offensive coordinator. I'm with the Lost Dodds here. It's not allowing him to fulfill his current duties as a coordinator, and I think that's completely unfair. On one hand, you try to restrict. You're trying to prevent something from happening, but I think you're restricting this man from doing his job, which is recruiting as a coordinator, John. I don't like it. I think it's unfair. And you said two men. You're right. They barely made men here with the NCAA because there would have only been one, because it is plural, being two, just a few.
You know, it's really interesting, too, to cite NCAA advantages. Like, well, it gives you an unfair advantage in recruiting. Well, so do what your facilities look like. So does your proximity in the United States of America, where it doesn't snow every day and you have pretty women, etc. It's also a recruiting disadvantage, though, when you've got Garrett Gilbert and two other quality quarterbacks, and there's a hotshot quarterback recruit who doesn't want to come to your school because you already have too many good players. Pros and cons, man. Recruiting is like that. If the NCAA wants a fair and balanced playing field, put every program in America in the same climate, make sure they spend the same money on facilities, make sure they have the same number of quality uniforms and color schemes, etc. It's just different. Different strokes for different folks. Not every program is the same. It's ridiculous. And the way the NCAA operates now, as soon as you hear those four letters, we immediately think, oh, what are they up to now? If this is about access and fairness and equality and opportunity, then the NCAA owed it to sports fans to say that. Hey, we had this brought up. We think it's a valid point. We're considering legislation that's going to eliminate this advantage because we don't want cronyism. We don't want the old boy system. We want to see ample opportunity for guys to come and essentially institute kind of a collegiate football Rooney Rule, which right now doesn't exist.
I mean, who do we slap? We don't even know who to slap. They're hiding behind a curtain. NCAA, come out.
Let's slap David Anderson. He doesn't know we're talking about this. So join us tomorrow. Big show tomorrow. Quan Cosby, lifetime Longhorn, who now catches passes for the Cincinnati Bengals, and three-time Super Bowl champion Robert Jones. You know we're going to be talking football with a lineup like that. Catch us tomorrow, 6 a.m. at AM 1300 The Zone.